Hi everyone, I'm Chengyang Lyu, and today I'm going to share some own experience, thoughts, and arguments about the game Cuphead. And we'll mainly talk about research background and core arguments, theoretical basis, and the three core elements in the game, core analysis, and conclusion and the meaning of the game. As we all know, Cuphead corresponds to those classic anime, which is the style of 1930s rubber hose animations, while the gameplay is the hand-core side-scrolling shooting game, just as the picture shown on the slide. So how does these two things connect with each other? It's like two things that have no connection. So in my opinion, music is the bridge that connects the two things. For instance, it matches retro jazz that with an animated style, and at the same time, it meets the modern gameplay's demand. Before analyzing the three major expressive modes, let's first clarify our theoretical basis, which is the game audio emotion production process from Collins. There are two core concepts in the book. The first one is the audio emotion map. For instance, when a boss battle reaches its final stage, the music rhythm will suddenly speed up to convey a sense of tension. When the Cuphead brothers and the residents celebrate the plot, the music becomes cheerful. And the second one is dynamic mixing. For instance, when Grandpa gives a hint to the player, the background music will lower its sound to ensure the players can clearly hear the dialogue, which means prioritizing key information. So the first expressive mode, I believe, is sound, which is the direct carrier of the music. Without sound, music cannot be perceived. The sound of Cuphead mainly falls into three categories. First is the background music of jazz, which lays the foundation of a retro style. And second is the sound effect, which also means SFX. For instance, if you are hit by a potato bullet when you're fighting a boss, there is a buzz sound, and this is the feedback of your losing HP. And finally, and third is the environmental sounds. For instance, the grassland makes a rustling sound, which makes you feel as if you are really standing in a garden outside. The second expressive mode is visuality. The visual core of Cuphead is the 1930s rubber hose animation style, which has three characteristics. The first one is boneless line, which means the character has no bones, just like no bones, and their movements are particularly exaggerated. Just as the picture shown on the slide, you can see that Cuphead body bends into a C shape, which is very exaggerated. And there's no such thing in the real life. And second, it is completely hand-drawn, which makes the movements very smooth. And third, the color is very retro, like using yellow, red, and stuff like that, which means just like the film color of some old movies. And the third expressive mode is narrative. The storyline of Cuphead is very clear. Just Cuphead and Mug made mistakes in a casino. They lost their souls to the devil and then completed redemption by collecting soul. Finally, they choose to defeat the devil and they save the world. In this process, music acts like a guide. For instance, when you first enter a casino, music is jazz, making you feel there's danger here and make you very nervous. And in a boss battle, the music turns into passionate jazz, da 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 da, which conveying the two brothers are very brave. When a narrative reaches a critical junction, such as when Grandpa says, "Oh, be careful of the carrot leaves attacked," the music will automatically turn down to ensure that you can hear the hint and the plot of Grandpa, just like the picture shown on the slide. Finally, we're going to connect these three modes of sound, visuality, and narrative. How do they connect? In my opinion, the core link is sound and music. What's more, they are not isolated but interlinked in both directions. First is sound and visuality. For instance, the rapid movements of potatoes require the rapid sounds of trumps to match. And secondly, sound and narrative. For instance, the plot of redemption requires an inspiring background music. When the grandpa delivers some key lines, his voice will lower its volume to help convey the narrative message. And finally is visuality relates with narrative. For instance, the onion's narrative detail that it did not intentionally attack the player and it's crying out loud like a baby. The music acts like a bridge. It enables the ritual art and modern gameplay of Cuphead to blend perfectly. Let's look through some case and examples. So the first example I want to share is the vegetable trial boss. The background music is typically 1930s jazz, as we said before, and the rapid notes of the trumpet correspond to the quick movements of potato firing bullets, just as the picture shows. And the long notes of the saxophone match onions crying, also shown on the slide. And the rhythm is completely in line with the visual characteristics of rubber hose animation, which are exaggerated and smooth. And the second case I want to share is the core requirement of modern hand-core shooting game, which means instant feedback. So Cuphead achieves this through music. For instance, if you are hit by a bullet, you will immediately hear a short buzz sound, and you will see the animation of being attacked, just like the picture shown on the slide. You can see the Cuphead jump up, and there are stars and stuff showing on your computer, showing that you're being attacked. And it will enable you that you lose 1 HP. When the boss enters the second stage, the jazz rhythm suddenly speeds up, which reminds me you need to focus more on your operation, and the difficulty rises. At the same time, on the narrative level, when a grandpa gives the prompt, "Avoid onions here," just like the picture shows here, the background music will automatically lower its volume, which means the dynamic mixing priorities key information. So many people think that ritual games are just about the old time, but Cuphead proves with its music that ritual IPs can have more depth. It is not simply a replication of the animations and music of the 1930s, but rather through the functional design of music. It makes the ritual style suitable for modern gameplay. So you can see these comments on the Steam. Everybody loves this game, and they enjoys the ritual style of the game. So last, music is not only a ritual symbol, but also a carrier of function. And its integration mode is a model for ritual game design. And in my opinion, personally, I believe Cuphead is the best game in ritual game design. And thanks all for your listening. And thanks everybody.